Mhm. Hey, baby. Get down, boo boo. Yeah. No, not good.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rico No Suave, and welcome back to the show. All right. Oh, man, I am super happy to be back with each and every one of you guys, man. Hey, you know what? All I can say is welcome to the show. Welcome to the Rico No Suave show. Super happy that each and every one of you are here with me today on the show. We just love being here because I'm excited, you're excited, we're all excited, and that's how excited that we are. So don't forget, continue to tune in every week as we have really great guests. It's Latino Heritage Month, everybody. Latino Heritage Month. And one of the things about Latino Heritage Month, everyone, is making sure that, hey, todos somos uno. We're talking about everybody from the Latino world, that Latin world. It's just the bomb. This is a perfect time between September 15th to October 15th for you to be able to indulge in the cultures of the Latino heritage market. And today we talk about Puerto Rico. Woo! You know, I'm a salsero, man. I love the dance salsa. And when it comes down to it, this here about the Puerto Ricans when they're putting things together. Now, this is a mural in Chicago in Humboldt Park, right? Where things are just the bomb. When it comes down to music, when it comes down to conciertos y todo, mi gente, it's all about coming together, being able to eat, being able to dance, and also helping each other as far as build within the community itself. There's so many things to be able to learn about La Isla de Puerto Rico. It's all about the cultura, tú sabes, man. So big shout out to all of my people from Puerto Rico, mi boricuas. Stand up. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. All right, everybody, I got to introduce this beautiful young lady. And when I tell you about the beautiful young lady, she is, how can I say it? She is awesome. She is great at what she's done in her past and what she's going to be doing in her future. When we talk about music, you've seen the movie Pretty Woman Walking Down the Street. When we talk about that, you have heard the hit song Fallen and her beautiful voice that goes along with it. I want you guys to stand up, put your hand to your heart, even sing it as well too, because we have Lauren Wood on the show. Let's go. Lauren, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, me too. Me too. How are you, love?
I'm good. How are you? You're
I
good?
am I am super happy that you are here as far as with us today on the Rico No Suave show. This is super going to be epic today, because you're an epic person. That's all I got to say. You're epic, right? And by me knowing just a little bit about you and reading about you is the reason why you're here. And big shout out to Beverly Pomerantz. Thank you so much for actually introducing us to.
Hey,
But
Beth.
hey, yeah, that's my girl Bev. That's my girl Bev. All
She's
right.
a sweetheart. I love her too. She's
I
cool.
do. She's such a she's a magnet, right? She's a magnet
Yeah.
and she just brings people together. That's what I love about her. That's what I love about her. So, you know what, Lauren? It's time to get it on because there's a lot to talk about in regards to you and your journey. Let's talk about growing up, right? It all starts somewhere where
I
there's role
have to.
models.
I'm so into being Peter Pan. I refuse to grow up. I'm still waiting to decide what I'm going to be when I grow up.
Hey, well, you still look good. I mean, you still look good. But Peter Pan, I like Peter Pan too. Let's talk about some of the role models, love. Talk to us about some of the role models growing up in the industry, music, movies. Talk to us about some of your role models that really affected you as a kid growing up.
Well, certainly the Beatles. I was going to be an artist because I was always the best artist in my elementary school and high school. I won all these awards. So I thought I was going to be an artist. And then I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan when I was a child and I went, oh my God, I want to do that. That's more fun than art. Art, I like people standing around my, desk at school, oohing and
Nice.
awing. But I thought, oh, it's much better to do this, in huge venues and with people oohing and awing. So it was the Beatles that got me into music. But I
Wow.
also loved Motown. I
Okay.
loved Joni Mitchell, um, Randy Newman, Paul
Mm.
Simon, James Taylor, Carole King. I loved the great writers that I grew up with. And also loved my parents used to play a lot of classical music and Richard Rodgers. So Rodgers and Hammerstein was a big influence.
Mm. Wow.
And Harry Belafonte. You can hear that in
Yeah.
Fallen. My
Yeah.
of Fallen is kind of my Harry Belafonte influences.
That's awesome. So, with different groups, because you have different genres of music, having these role models and saying, of course, Beatles was the first one you say, I want to do that.
Yeah,
Because they were very energized, but they also had a nice style to them as
and they
well
were
when they were actually
funny.
in.
They were so funny. They didn't
Yeah.
take them so seriously, and they could have because they were the most, incredible geniuses who have ever walked the earth, as far as I'm concerned. But they made fun of themselves, and they were silly and fun. And that was one of the first things that attracted me to them. And their incredible music,
Yeah.
which was it didn't sound like anything you'd ever heard before. They didn't, of course they stole from, a little bit, American 50s and um, and American R&B and Motown and Little Richard, but
Yeah.
they put it all together in a way you'd never heard before.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Beatles forever.
And I think that becomes into where Lauren growing up and listening to the Beatles itself, the music just hits you like right away because it pertains to you. Was there's Beatles? Was your parents also Beatle fans as well?
They liked the Beatles, and I actually taught my parents to be able to recognize who was singing what. And
Okay.
They were
Nice.
nice enough to get me Beetle wallpaper as a child, and my dad was saying, "Oh, you won't like them in a week." Well, here it is.
Wow.
How many 60, 60 something years later or something, and I still love the Beatles. And I wish I had that wallpaper.
Yeah. That would have been that would have been iconic, right? If it still had the wallpaper. That would have been awesome because that's like a childhood dream, right? Especially like when I put posters up. That was beautiful.
And the
Yeah.
walls weren't covered with Beetle wallpaper. I took it out of magazines, and they were
Uh-huh.
on every wall in my bedroom.
Oh,
Beatles.
that's so awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
I
So
always wanted to meet Paul McCartney, and I still haven't. He
ah
was at our grocery store, the local Ralph's,
uh-huh.
and I was there like 5 minutes later, and everybody was in shock that he had just left. It was like, I missed Paul McCartney,
Oh
my
no.
all time. But
Wow.
I played with the people who were in his group.
Okay.
Brian Ray, the blonde guy in his group, he
Yeah.
played on all of my second Warner Brothers. No, my first Warner Brothers album.
Okay.
Brian and Abraham Laboriel, the drummer, his father played on all of my first Warner Brothers album. His father's a
Nice.
bass player. And Rusty, I played drums and jammed with him at a party.
Let's
And there
go.
were no complaints.
Right. It's music. I mean, it's music. I mean, why should we
I
complain,
mean,
right?
drumming is a secondary thing to me. I'm a singer songwriter, keyboard player.
Yeah.
But when the drummer used to leave the drums at my parents' house, I
Uh-huh.
used to sit down on them and noodle and always had fun on the drums.
Let's go. So
So
growing
now
so
I
let me ask you a
play.
question, Lauren. So when you were actually like growing up, so the training. So let's talk about the training piece. Because if you're that instrumental in regards to the different instruments that you played, were what came first? Was it the singing or was it playing the instrument, learning the instrument?
Well, I started playing like classical piano when I was like 5 years old. But I was never good at the piano until I put notes away and stopped reading. My piano teacher used to tell me the only reason I'm teaching you is because I like your mother. You're really terrible.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
only got good at music when I put notes away and started playing by ear.
Mm,
And then I started writing some good songs.
wow. So you started writing at what age?
Well, I wrote a couple of hideous songs, like when I was like, young, like maybe 8, 9, 10. And I
Wow.
played a little horrible Stella guitar when I tried to write.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I switched to piano and I was better at writing songs. So yeah, I
Wow.
started writing when I was a little kid.
Do you
But
think
it
the what was it about? What was the song? What were you writing
Oh, I
about?
wrote about a little squirrel that we tried to save and it died.
Oh
Called
wow.
First Thing. So probably the first song I ever wrote was about a poor little dead squirrel that we tried to save.
Oh
It
wow.
can't.
Wow. Wow. Well, at least that got you somewhere in nature. I like that. I like that. So what was the second song? So what was the second one you wrote about?
Uh, I don't even know. I mean,
Okay.
I think we took the Batman theme and completely distorted it and made it sound really strange. So you couldn't even tell it was a Batman theme. Things like that.
I like that, man. I like that. I like to hear stuff like this because you are like so intelligent when it comes to you writing songs and being a songwriter because it started somewhere and starting off with the squirrel and then all of a sudden you're starting to get more into the teenage years. So how was your development happening through your teenage years and then becoming that adult? So what was that like for you?
Well, I lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was like, I would go from being really popular to being the worst outcast, because
Mm,
people didn't understand me in Pittsburgh.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so then I came out to Los Angeles when I was like, I think I was 18, right after high school. I came out here,
Hmm.
and we got a record deal immediately with Music Records, which
Wow.
was, yeah, they had a couple of hits. They had I forget, they had Gene Pitney.
Hmm.
You're too young to remember these
Yeah.
songs. groups
I'm
that were
learning.
on Music Core. But Music Core, and then we were on Warner Brothers.
Wow.
We were on Warner Brothers as Chunky, Novi, and Ernie. I was Chunky, although I hadn't been Chunky since I was 13, but I liked it better than my real name, which I won't go into right now.
Sure, sure, sure. I like Chunky though. Chunky is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I still have a lot of friends who call me Chunky.
Do they? So how was it when? So let's talk about that. So when you actually got signed with Warner Brothers, like how many was in a group, and how did that come about?
I used to say like a good friend's dog's mother's cat's uncle's cousin had a connection at Warner Brothers, and they sent Carl Scott
Uh-huh.
and Ted Templeman over to where a place we were renting with the band. I think there was a band of like I don't know 5 of us,
Okay.
and then sent them over, and they. Let's see. Did they sign? No, they didn't sign the whole group. They just signed a Chunky Novi and Ernie. They just signed the 3 of us
Okay. Okay.
because they really dug our classical influences.
Nice.
We used to do these really. Both my cousin and I, Novi, who's this incredibly brilliant viola player.
Uh huh.
He was in Frank Zappa's The Mother's Invention. He was in, these are probably, some of these bands are too old for you to remember. Country Joe and the Fish. But she played
Mm,
on 10,000 million records that you've heard of. She's played on with Michael Jackson. She played Raspberry Beret, that's her viola part. Doobie Brothers, Black Water, that's her viola solo in there. So
yeah.
she's a famous viola player. Um,
Wow.
Anyways, we signed with Warner Brothers as Chunky, Novi, and Ernie, and they really dug our influences were classical music. Used to call our music classical cartoon music.
Mm,
And Frank Zappa loved us too. And there was
mm,
like actually a bidding war between Frank Zappa's label and Warner Brothers.
okay.
And so it was really a hard decision because Frank Zappa was one of our idols too. We idolized him. But we
Wow.
also idolized Randy Newman and Van Dyke Parks
Hmm.
and Joni Mitchell, who were on Warner Brothers. So Frank was still our friends and it was okay with him, but we signed with Warner Brothers. And
Wow.
I think we made 2 Chunky Novi and Ernie records, and then I made 2 solo records with Warner Brothers. Then
That is,
I
you
made
know,
a couple records on my own. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, it's just the history behind this and where you're at today versus to what I'm hearing. It's not very often that you will hear, someone that gets picked up at an early age around 13, knowing that they're still in school, to get picked up and you're having a fight between Warner Brothers and your idol. and and to be able to have that is such it's a privilege to have that piece because there was things that you had to continue to do to make yourself great during your teenage years and then of course into of course adulthood when you start making more music. Now during that time with Warner Brothers, were you did they say, hey, you got to put out so many classical music albums or
No,
songs? What was
no,
that like?
they just left us alone. They didn't even take our publishing or anything. It was what's his name? Little Feet.
No
God, I can't
worries.
think of his name. Lyle George.
Okay. Okay.
Lyle George with Little Feet, who a lot of people really love Little Feet. And Lyle George, unfortunately, he passed away
Rest in peace.
a long time ago. But he told us always make Warner Brothers, don't let them take your publishing and make them pay for every session. Don't let them poor mouth you. Make
Mm,
them pay for every session and
yeah.
don't let them take your publishing. So I kind of lived by that and I kept my publishing. And so I sit at home and collect royalties out of the mailbox all the
Let's
time.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's some good royalties if you're that young. So
Yeah,
when was the royalties? I mean, so at the age of 13 until when that you start really get was the royalties there right away,
I was
or how
actually
long did that take?
I was more like 18 when they started coming in. My first big royalty check was sitting when I was living with Novi and Ernie. Um, and we had this we had Novi's big concert grand in our living room, and we
Uh-huh.
had all our mail piled up on the concert grand. And I was going through the mail in the middle of the night and opened up this thing from Warner Brothers, and it was a check from um, was it not Van Halen? Ronnie Montrose had a group on Warner Brothers, and they had and there was a check, and I thought it was for $5. And I looked at it again, and I went, "Oh wait, maybe it's 500." I went, 5,000, and that was my first big check from Warner Brothers on a cover tune. So then I
Wow.
started thinking, oh, maybe I have to write some songs that are a little bit more normal, so I can get some more of these covers.
Sure. Sure.
I could still never write anything really normal, just my version of normal.
Right. I like that. Let's talk about not being normal, because this is not normal, right? Because being unique is very good, right? Because people don't want cookie cutters, and people that want normal is just not normal, right? I mean, you want to be unique, you want to be yourself, and that's why
Al
you're here.
Jarreau used to say that was my cross. He says, "You're different, and that's going to be your cross to bear, and it will also bring you possibly great riches."
I like that. I like that,
Loved Al Jarreau. I used
that
to
works.
I knew him from this little club we played in LA.
Uh
You
huh.
know, we used to switch off on Fridays and Saturdays. Chunky Novi and Ernie would play Friday or Saturday. Al Jarreau would play Friday or Saturday.
Al Jarreau.
Yes, and I
Oh,
begged Warner Brothers to sign him, and it took them years to sign Al
let's
Jarreau. I said, "Are
go.
you nuts? He's going to be a legend. You have to sign him."
Yes.
And they'd say, "Well, and this is when we were Chunky Novi and Ernie. And they go, "Well, we don't know how to promote him." I said, "You know how to promote us?
Yes. Yes.
Classical cartoon music?" So eventually they did sign Al Jarreau.
That is so cool. Oh man, I like Al
I
Jarreau.
have so many weird stories from, I mean, I could
What
be on
club was it?
right
What venue were you playing at? What's the name of the venue? You remember that
that
you guys
we
were
were
switching
looking
off?
at, that we
Yeah.
got signed. Oh, they actually came to a house we were renting.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
the band was renting.
Okay.
And Ted Templeman, who produced later on, produced Doobie Brothers, who we heard their first demo and we said, "Oh no, don't sign them. They sound like a bar band." So, but he signed them anyways. Listen to the music. But I really grew to love the Doobie Brothers when Michael McDonald joined the group, because he was like, I understood his music. I understood where he came from.
Yeah.
Ted, in fact, Ted Templeman said, I just signed a guy that sounds like your brother. And that's what
Wow.
people think when my first hit, Please Don't Leave, came out. It was kind of a duet with Michael McDonald, and they all thought I was his sister. I said, no,
Mm.
he lives close to me, but we're not related.
All right, man. You know, time is flying by fast already. I'm just all in regards to you and being unique as you are, love. You know, time will fly by fast because I love unique people like yourself, love. Because, hey, you know what? We got to get into this album, Love, Death, Customer Service, the meaning behind the album. Talk to us about that.
Well, I kept trying to think of a name for this album. It looks like this.
Nice. Oh, I love that. Yes, yes.
And, anyways, I thought, oh, I've already done Lauren Wood twice. I did it once on Warner Brothers, and I did it once on my label. So I had to come up with a name, and I kept thinking, do I pick a song off of my album? And I went, well, what's this album about? I was thinking it's about love. It's a bunch of songs. It's about death, which is Walk Toward the Light, and it's about customer service, and it's a song called "You Gotta Love Those Guys," and that's about customer service. So I thought, love, death, and customer service. Okay, and it was way before. There's a country guy who did love, death, and the whole damn thing,
Mm.
and he did that after me, and I like mine way better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Way
So, reading a little bit about this because there was love, which was in from reading about you more, of course, and
That's
doing
usually
the
what I.
research when love, death, and customer service. I know love has something to do with the relationship, right? And
Yeah,
then there was a passing, a death that was, of course, that we all experience in life, and then of course this customer service, where that's an
maybe so
interesting
much.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be you could call customer service. Nowadays, you have to have an app for it, go online, you have to set up an account, have a password.
Right. Chat.
I
You got to chat now. You got to chat with
call.
customer service.
I used to like it when you could just call and yell at them.
Right. And ask
Now
for a
I have
manager right
to write
away.
in real big font. I hate you. You're driving me crazy.
So that album, how long did it take for you to make that album? And when was that released? What year was that
That
released?
was released. Let me think. When was this released? I think I have to look on this side. Who knows? When was this released? I can't keep track of anything. Don't even ask me what I had for breakfast this morning.
I won't.
Um, 2006 or 2007, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I signed with a company called Blixa, and we put out my two Warner Brothers records again.
Yeah, I love that picture you sent.
And
Yeah, I saw that one.
it's remastered.
Yes,
And
that
all
is
my
awesome.
it's 19 songs that were on
Okay.
my Warner Brothers albums remastered, so they sound really, really great.
Yeah.
And then here's my other album that I put out
Just
with my
Lauren Wood.
yeah,
Nice.
that's Lauren Wood.
And a little mice. Got a mouse.
It's my little mouse five.
Yeah, I like that. Oh my God. Lauren, for you to be able to come up with different albums, because it started at at a young age, and you're starting to put out like you're starting to do more singing, and you're also like meeting some great people through during your journey, and writing each one of those albums that you actually have. What was the process like for you to be able to come in and say, hey, you know what? I need to sit down. I need to write this. How did it all come to you to be able to write albums after albums after albums for yourself?
Well, I wouldn't like book the time and then write the songs. So
Yeah, yeah.
I always made sure I had the songs and I have the arrangements. We could have a little fixing up to do, but mostly I've always been a producer at heart. So even if I didn't get production credit, I always had a huge hand
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
producing the albums. And later on, I produced them myself. So yeah, so I write the songs, and I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
That's right. Yeah.
I was Barry Manilow's number one favorite singer when I
Really?
first saw him. Yeah, he told me that. The last time I saw him, he said, "You're my number three favorite singer."
Number
And I
three.
thought, you caught me out, Barry.
Well, hey, well, at least you're in the top. You're the top three.
Top
At
three.
least
That
you
was
gave you
fine. That
that.
was
I love
that
that.
bastard. It was fine.
Oh, that's funny. So, with these with the albums, I'm definitely when you publish these albums, you produce these albums, you sent them out. How many copies did you wind up selling for
Oh,
each
I
one of them?
think I check. I think this
You know,
weirdo checks on things like that. I have no idea.
I
I
would
mean, I
assume
used
that's money,
to be on
right?
record. Yeah, I was on record labels before, so I have no idea. And then
Oh,
even
I
on
see.
own records, I can't tell because some of it people buy records, some of it's streaming.
I
All I
see.
know is I just collect the checks. I
I
don't really
like
know,
that. I like that idea. I like
but I
that. Now I had to think about that. Now, like, I'm not.
know
I just want to collect the check, and let's just we
I know
good.
the Pretty Woman album sold 20 million records,
Uh huh.
and EMI told me it was based on my song "Fallen." They said in the history of the company, this was back when it first came out in 1990. They had never gotten so many phone calls where to buy a record, my
Yeah.
record,
Uh huh.
and then my streaming is still incredible,
Wow.
So I have no idea.
Wow. Yeah,
But
I've always wondered. I always wondered about that when it comes to people publishing, and you being the music producer, you're writing these songs, and then you have them sent out. Hey, what do you think about this album? They're like, we love it. Then you just start going nationwide or even worldwide as far as with
yeah, yeah.
albums, and then you would think that, hey, well, how many have I sold? Because and then all of a sudden it does make sense. Well, I really don't check. I get a check. And I just want to make sure that I'm continuously getting the check for the music that I put out there. So that's interesting. That's good
I
to
do
hear.
I do very little on streaming and promotion. In fact, I do basically nothing
Yeah,
to, I just every now and then I look at streaming or whatever.
sure.
But I'm not really good with business because I kind of grew up. I was signed to a label at an
Yeah.
early age. And so
Okay.
I'm not into this self promotion thing,
Right.
and I get used to it.
Right. Well, I'm
So,
assuming that they did most of the promotion for you, right?
what's that?
They did most of the promotion for you.
Oh,
Would you
yeah,
say?
Warner's did, and then Blixa did some, and then I hired somebody to do something, when
Yeah, use the
this
talent.
came out and when this came out.
Let's go. Let's
But
go.
I
I
don't
love
know.
I love your style. I love I love the 80s, and I love the night. I just love from the dressing to just the vibe itself, right? From the movies. The vibes was just awesome. The 80s, a little bit of the 90s, but man, it was such a great vibe of just watching, celebrities, even like yourself coming out with great music. It was such a great time because, watching my parents play music back in the day, as far as in the 80s, it was just to see that there's a different style of happiness, right? When it came down to it. And you're definitely part of it, Lauren.
Well,
Wood.
the way I like to decorate is my whole house is decorated 50s. It looks like kind of like
Okay.
Pee
Okay.
Wee's Playhouse. And
Yeah.
he was a doll. He was an
Man,
absolute
rest in
sweet.
peace. He was
And that was
awesome.
such a loss. I just was so devastated when I heard he passed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible. So my whole house is the 50s. My front yard and backyard are all tiki-fied, like tiki. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
like that.
for my hair, I have bright hair, but I basically only wear black, maybe a little white.
Okay.
Although, let me just say, this shirt,
Uh-huh.
I bought this shirt in Italy, okay?
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
hat in sequins. I saw it in my luggage. I was
Uh-huh.
packed up and I was coming home. I saw it in my luggage. I went, "You didn't buy this shirt, did you?" I couldn't believe I bought it. And then it became my favorite shirt because I do collect happy faces
That's
because
good.
it's kind of 60s.
Yes. Yes. Lauren Wood, we got to take a break because time is always flying by fast when we're together and we're ready to talk some great stuff. Everybody, this is Lauren Wood. She is a singer, the songwriter, and the music producer here on the Rico No Suave show. We'll be back in 30 seconds as we take this commercial break. Welcome back, everybody. You already know it is my girl, Lauren Wood. Yes,
Be
yes.
drinking my
Cheers, love.
vodka.
Cheers. I see you with the glass.
I'm
Cheers.
just kidding. But it is, what time is it here? It's 5:30. I could be drinking vodka.
That's okay. Hey, as long as you cheer into the show, I'm loving it. And cheer into your life, you know. Hey, you know what, Lauren? We got some people that's actually tuning in that you may know. There is Paola Lorenzi checking in. She says, Yay! We got Kay Burnett showing some love, giving a little bit of love out there. Hello, Kay Burnett. And then Susan Bales is checking. Is it Bayless? It might be Bayless. So nice to see you,
Pills.
Lauren, again. Thank you. We got Patty Escobar. Patty Escobar says, you know what? She's giving me that Cindy Lauper vibes. I'm like, well, girls just want
Think
to have
that
fun.
sometimes people think I'm Cindy when I'm walking around in Los Angeles. I have met her.
Have
I met
you?
Yes, and we fooled around and we talked in little high voices together. I do little cartoon voices, and
You
as
do
you
it
know,
just like her.
he did little voices too, but mine are like little kids, but hers was from like New York.
Yeah. That's
So I was
definitely
doing that
her.
at a birthday party, and we were talking in little voices together, having a good time. So I
Yeah,
really liked it. It was
that's
fun.
awesome. Beatrice Davis is giving a shout out. She says she is one extraordinary lady. I love her hair and attitude. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you so much for tuning in. And then we got someone else that's just tuning in as well too. Carla Niles say so is Gail. And then Lauren Wood rocks from Del Marie Parelli. Thank you so much for checking in. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for showing the love. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions also for Lauren Wood, please make sure you let us know and we'll try to get to those questions. But I do have to keep going because with me and Lauren online, it's going to be
Yeah,
like
we
we're
can
on the
just.
phone. I know, right?
I'm
Exactly.
sorry I keep interrupting you, but I'm like little Miss
No, you're
Chatty.
good. You're good, love. East Coast, Beth Simon comes in with the love from the oldest and bestest. Beth Simon is checking in. Thank you,
Yes,
Beth, for so
he is
much
my
checking in.
oldest friend. We were friends from when we were 5 years old.
Oh,
He was really
nice.
skinny, and I was really fat. And we used to call ourselves Laurel and Hardy.
Uh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Well, Beth, now I know where it came from. It's been shown. It's been shown here. It's been told here.
That's where it came from. Yeah, because I was when I was little.
Yeah. Hey, so time's gonna fly by fast because I know we're gonna have some fun here. Let's talk about falling, right?
Okay.
When it comes to falling, let's talk about how you came up with the song, and let's talk about how we got picked for the movie Pretty Woman. Talk to us about that.
Okay. It got written in one night. It was so crazy because most of my songs I struggle over, but this one just popped out of me really easily, and I wrote it in one night. Um, uh, and recording it, I recorded it on a Warner Brothers album that came out 10 years before it came out on the Pretty Woman soundtrack. And Warner Brothers asked me, what do you think your single is? And I said, well, my favorite song on the record, and I hope it's my single, it's Fallen. And they said, Fallen? It doesn't have any drums. It doesn't have a real chorus. I think we'll put out a different song. So they put out a different song. That song failed, and they dropped me. And then 10 years later, I was a genius because I wrote and sang "Fallen,"
Wow. Wow.
and
I've I've
it's
I've heard the song, and I think it's an awesome song. When they picked the song for the
for the
movie,
movie.
yeah.
I was in a coffee shop, and I bumped into one of my publishers, and he said, "You have any songs for me?" So he says, "I'm looking for songs for movies." So I sent him like about 6 songs, And then he called me back in a little bit and said, they want to use your song Fallen for Richard Gere's comeback movie. And I said, oh, sure. Yeah, I've heard that before. So I went to see this movie and I went, oh my God, I smell money.
Let's go.
And I had no idea how much money I was smelling,
Mm.
you know. So,
So what was the feedback like? So because the feedback was, and I want the audience to be able to hear what this feedback is like on this hit song in regards to how many viewers and also just listeners that listened to this song, and also being in that movie was just amazing because back then when you had soundtracks, it was the thing to play in your car, right?
right, right.
When you got that number, what was that number that you found out that your song, how many people it reached, and also bought the song as well
Well,
too.
it reached over 20 million people because they sold over 20 million records of the
Let's
Pretty
go.
Woman soundtrack based on my song. But that was years ago. And since then, it's been on streaming, and I get royalties all the time. I get emails and hits online all the time
Yeah.
about how much people love this song, how it's changed their life, how they've named their children after me. There's hundreds of versions of Fallen on YouTube, other people singing it either on a TV show or in a
Right.
bathtub at home.
Yeah. As long as they didn't fall.
Yeah, I don't
As
know how
long as
many
they
times
were good.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah.
Right, I remember that commercial. Yeah. So, how do you feel that you made it with that song? You made it beforehand, but when you got 20 million, that is a surreal moment when it comes down to knowing that 20 million copies were sold and you are a part of that because that's history, right? Where did
Yeah.
that take you after that, as far as with Pretty Woman? Do you
Well,
think?
it took me to a place where I could relax a little bit because all my life I worked so hard on my music.
Yeah,
And if I didn't please myself 500% on every song, on every track, I wouldn't release it.
right.
So it was a nice thing that I could finally relax a little bit because I've made a mark. I've made a mark in music history with this song. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I can relax a little bit now.
Yes. 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 And I'm so like excited to like because when I hear something like this, and I'm thinking of premieres, and when you watch the movie on, did you watch the movie on the big screen? And knowing that your song was going to be playing in that movie, did you actually go to the movie theaters to watch Pretty Woman? Was
I
there a
act,
premiere? How did that release?
there wasn't a premiere that I know of that had, because I was just a lowly songwriter. And at the time, we didn't know how big the soundtrack was going to be. So they sent me to a premiere. So I did see it on a big screen.
Yeah,
And I went, wow, this movie is great. It has everything. It has incredible chemistry with the two
yeah,
lead characters, had great music, and the two lead characters were great in it. And it did certainly revived Richard Gere's presence in
yep,
movies, and it kind of made Julia Roberts.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I saw it. And yeah, I thought, okay, like I said, when I saw it, I went, I smell money. Because I thought this movie is adorable. Who wouldn't like
Yes,
this movie?
that's
It's adorable.
right. It was a really good movie. Yeah. And did you ever get a chance to meet Richard Gere and Julia Roberts?
No, I haven't. I've met Laura San Giacomo, who played her friend, because I also sang the lead theme song to to a series that she was the lead in called Just Shoot Me.
Okay. Okay.
And so I met her. And who else? Oh, I met Hector, who was the guy, and he was the guy at the hotel.
Okay.
I can't think
Okay.
of his last name. You know, the guy at the hotel who at first was sort of afraid of her and then really came to love her.
Yes. Yes.
Roberts.
Uh-huh.
I met
Uh-huh.
him, but I still haven't met Richard Gere or Julia Roberts. I just haven't been to the same place at the same time.
Yeah, I would, for something to hit that big, because they are part of those royalties as well, you would think that there'll be like a royalty party, when it comes down to something like that, right? Because
Well,
it's
they
so
get their
cool.
royalties a different place than I do. They have a different mailbox, you know.
Yeah, they got a different mailbox.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, so Carla. Hi, Carla. Carla now says your song "Come Out to the Beach," not the exact name. You know
Oh,
which one I will always think that is a hit. Which one is she referring to?
it's called "Come and Live with Me."
Come and live with me. Yes, yes. Let's
Track
see what
number
that
11
looks like.
on this one here.
Okay,
Track 11.
okay. Love, death, and customer service. Okay, okay. That's awesome. That's
But
awesome.
here,
Hey,
I have some new things that are coming up. Do you want to hear?
okay.
Or do you want to get to this later?
So we're gonna take a quick break because I know there's some other stuff that I want to talk to you about. But we got one more thing. We got to take another commercial break because we always got to pay some bills.
Okay.
But everybody,
I got bills too.
yeah, right. So Lauren Wood is here, everybody. You already know we're having such a great time as far as on the show, and I love her actually being here because this is history and always history of great things that she have done and also accomplished. Everybody, you know what, Lauren? Take a sec. Give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna be back right with you, love. Hope you're enjoying the show. Salut. This
Well,
is
everybody,
NASCAR moments, everybody. This is NASCAR moments, everyone. We are super happy to be able to tell you about a little bit of that engine and everything that goes along with it. But with NASCAR moments and the people that actually drive cars also have families. But we want to give a big shout out to Amanda and Bubba Wallace. They have a baby, everybody. They got their newborn baby. Bex Hayden is the baby's name. And we want to say congratulations to them both. This is such a great time as far as, even the little towel looked like a checkered flag. NASCAR. It just have to have a checker flag there as well, too. But this is super awesome. I want to say congratulations to Bubba Wallace and also to his beautiful wifey, Amanda, doing such great things. And yes, everyone, this is the NASCAR moments. Yes. All right, we're ready to get back. Let's get back to none other than my girl Lauren Wood. And when it comes down to history, Lauren Wood is the bomb. She is the bomb. She is. Lauren, are you having a good time?
I am. You're fun to talk to.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
loving you, Rico.
Thank you. I love you too. I love you too. You know what? I think this is a great time for us to talk about the upcoming projects. We got to
Okay.
talk about them now.
Okay.
Roll them. Let's go. So, what do you have coming up that people need to be,
Aware
happy about?
of. A really fun thing is I'm in this movie called The World According to Allie Willis. Allie Willis was the most incredible songwriter. She wrote September, Boogie Wonderland. She wrote The Color Purple. She wrote the Friends theme,
Wow.
hundreds of hits. She
Wow.
also did my cover here.
Oh,
She
I
was
love it. Oh, I love that
how
cover.
great this cover is that she
Look at
made.
that.
Isn't
I
that
love
great?
it.
She did this
Yes.
cover for me. Anyways, there's she passed away at 72 years old. She passed away
Oh, rest in
right
peace.
before the pandemic. It was a horrible, horrible shock. Anyways, they've made a documentary about her
Okay.
called The World According to Allie Willis. and
Okay.
it's now playing. It's playing some festivals around. There's I think there was a it played South by Southwest, and I think it was got like a standing 10-minute ovation. People
Nice.
flipped out for it. She was such an interesting character. Anyways, I'm in this movie, documentary. It's playing in LA. I think there's a premiere. I think the 12th or 13th in Los Angeles, but it's going to be playing for a week in a theater in Los Angeles. I don't know what theater yet, but maybe
Okay.
watch for it. And then then it's playing on Magnolia. It's calling Video on Demand um, on Magnolia Films. That'll be playing November 22nd, I think, and on for a while. Then it'll
Okay.
be on Hulu next year.
All right.
So it's real. I haven't seen it yet, but it's getting standing ovations wherever it's playing. So
Let's go. It has to
uh,
be that good. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be that
it's
good.
really good.
And
And
and what role do you play in it?
it's a documentary.
Uh huh.
And I was Allie's one of her first co-writers many, many years ago, and we wrote a whole lot of songs together.
I
And
see.
two of the songs that we wrote together are going to be in the documentary. And they
Okay.
interviewed me, and they told me that my interview elevated the documentary to the next level. So I thought,
Nice.
well, that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
hope it was a good level.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait to see it. I'm going to go to the premiere, I guess, November 12th or 13th. So that one should be great. Also, next year on HBO, they have a series called Music Box, and this particular one is called Yacht Rock, and I'm going to be
Okay.
on that one too. And they're talking about my song "Please Don't Leave," which was a big yacht rock hit. They only interviewed two women because most of the people on Yacht Rock are guys. So the only two women they interviewed are Brenda Russell and myself. And Brenda Russell, I adore. I
That's
adore her
awesome.
as a human being. I love her so much, and
Wow.
I adore her as an artist. She's so brilliant. I just
Wow.
love Brenda. So, anyways, we're both going to be on the Music Box in 2025, and
Awesome.
then Fallen is going to. They're showing a segment of Pretty Woman when Pretty Woman. They're showing it on a segment on a TV show called Ted, and I didn't ask when it's coming on. Probably 2025, maybe at the end of this year, but they've already asked for the license.
Uh huh.
So I think it's coming on Peacock. It's a
Okay.
series, season 2 on Ted. And Ted was it came out in the movies. It's about that little teddy bear.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I saw the preview of that.
Oh, so
Yeah.
which another funny thing about that little teddy bear is I used to do voiceovers, and my voiceover agent, that's her husband who did the voice.
That's
So I
cool.
thought that was funny. So I have some weird coincidences in my life. And Colin's
That's
going to be on
awesome.
a Swedish. It's on a Swedish TV show. I don't know when that's coming up, but I also licensed for that too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
so I have some fun things coming up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I do want to ask about how because Fallen was such a hit and other songs that you actually have, which was also other hits, do you see like your other hit songs playing in other movies, even in the near future, or what do you see that? Where do you see that's going?
Well, Music Box, the HBO thing is playing "Please Don't Leave."
Okay.
That's another song of mine. But because "Pretty Woman" was such a big hit,
Yeah.
everybody wants Fallen. It's been a commercial. It's been commercials in other countries.
Yeah.
Um, it, it was a condo commercial in Singapore. I don't even remember.
Wow.
It was released in Chinese. A girl named Elizabeth recorded it in Chinese. Uh,
Okay.
a group called Presuntos Implicados
Uh huh. Uh
recorded it
huh.
in Spanish,
Uh huh.
and
Right.
it's been recorded by a lot of people. Who
Wow.
else? Johnny Mathis. Oh,
No way.
I love Johnny Mathis. He
Me
and
too.
uh, Johnny Mathis and Dusty Springfield, my two favorite singers of all time, other than Michael McDonald.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I was about to ask you about Michael
Mikey
McDonald.
twice recorded one of my songs.
Yes, yeah.
Mikey has sung on a whole bunch of my songs. So we have that connection. Who else recorded Fallen? Warren Hill, Larry Coryell, um,
Did you say Lauren Hill?
Larson. I mean, and
Wow.
hundreds of versions on YouTube.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go,
I,
man.
I wish I wish my other songs would get in movies, but since I'm not much of a self promoter,
I think
sometimes
it's I think for the most part it's doing its job.
yeah, it
Someone
sure is.
somebody is watching over you and said, "You know what? When you actually hit that 20 million, they told you to sit back, relax, but you kept going." And then more angels just looked over you and said, "Hey, we're gonna promote for you. Don't worry. We'll put the
Yeah,
right people to be able to hear your songs, and also for them to be able to connect with you because we understand that you're working so hard with putting these songs out that the angels will say, hey, you know what, person right here, this person needs to be able to hear. This person needs to be here. This needs to be in this movie. This needs to actually cut from that movie and put it somewhere else." So, I wouldn't say even worry about the promotion. I think it's already going to be done for you because they have people that love your music, especially if you have people covering your song in different languages. That is big. That
yeah.
is huge. Oh, man. You can't get no better than that because that's international now. So I
Well, it
think
did.
I think it's
It's
good.
huge internationally. My song, even right now, it was like number one in Singapore,
Let's go.
or number one in Denmark.
Let's go.
It was huge in the UK, South Africa, France, Germany,
Wow.
Spain. It was big all around the world.
Wow. Well,
So
Lauren,
now I get to relax a little bit.
hey, your music is kind of like the retirement plan, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. I had to come up with. I was trying to think of a word that was like when you said relaxed. I'm like,
It
what
is.
is
It
it that's going to
is
go well with this?
a
And it's
plan.
the retirement plan. And
Yeah.
that retirement plan is awesome. I wish I can do that and get that retirement plan going for me because you have what it takes to be able to work so hard. The people upstairs is watching you. People is actually saying, we're going to bless her with people for her to be able to retire whenever she's ready, right? And the music is just helping you to retire. Even though you want to do more music, hey, you wasn't ready to retire, but hey, you have to sit back and relax. You got to get those flowers. But
I'll talk to
you know what also, Lauren, that we love about you is that we love giving gifts. This is for you.
Oh boy, and it's black. I only wear black. Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send this to you because you know why I got this shirt for you because you are history. You are definitely history. You are that pretty woman walking down the street. You are Lauren Wood that have touched a lot of people's lives when it comes to your music. But you're also Lauren Wood because you have came out with music in one day, 1 week, 1 month, and you're able to connect with people that love you being unique as someone special. I think when I read Lauren Wood bio, I was like, wow, I want to feel unique as well too because of the things that you've done. Lauren Wood, I'm so happy to actually have had you on the show because this is just a glimpse of what uniqueness that you actually have for yourself coming up throughout the years and also through the music industry. And now you're partaking into more of film where you have to get your flowers. You have to get those extra trophies to be able to say, hey, and you have to get that retirement trophy. That retirement trophy is the best thing ever, right? I
I
love
call
it. And also for
myself
you to be able to continue to get
semi-retired,
royalty. And royalty.
semi-retired
Royalty
because
too. Yes.
semi-retired because
Yes.
I still play drums occasionally, and I will record again. I have some songs that are really good that I do have to record.
And you know how they say like when people retire from corporate America and then they say they can't stop working and they wind up working for like a grocery store or some mom and pop shop because they have to have something to do. That's not Lauren Wood. That's not you. You go. That's not you. That's not you. That when I see Lauren Wood, I'm saying she's gonna still come out with some music. She's gonna still produce. She's gonna
Can you
still do her
imagine
thing.
a waitress?
A singing waitress. No, I can't. I can't.
Please.
Oh my God, Lauren Wood. Hey, we of course our time is up, but this right here. Welcome to the Rico No Suave Show family. This shirt is for
Thank
you,
you.
and thank you so much for actually blessing us. But you are awesome, Lauren Wood. You are
You're awesome,
awesome.
Rico. You're a doll. I love you. You're so
Thank you.
sweet.
I love you too. Lauren, before we get out of here, we got to actually have your social media. We got to put your social media up because we want people to know more about you and make sure that they can follow you as well too. So the first one is we have I think it's your Instagram. I think it's your Instagram, Lauren Wood Official. Oficial. We have the Lauren Wood Official on Instagram. Make sure you guys go there and follow her, and follow her. The next one is Facebook. Yes, Lauren Wood. That's right. Just like it. Do it now. Make sure
I
you
think
like it.
there's two. I think there's two up at
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
One
that's
is
two of them. Yep.
yeah, there's two of them.
What's the second one?
Actually, there's actually maybe three.
Wow.
There's the Laurenwood fan club too,
But they can
but
go here though. They can go
but
to this
yes,
one.
it's
They can
the
find everything about you. The
yeah,
website.
the regular Laurenwood or Laurenwood
That.
Laurenwood music at
Yeah.
Facebook too,
Okay.
or
But this
regular.
one right here, this website, everybody has to go to the website and see this
Oh, the
website.
website's pretty good. Yeah.
You got to go to the website. LaurenWood.com. Real simple, real easy. You got to go and see that website. I fell in love with it, and you would too. Lauren Wood, we got to get out of here, love. But you know,
Okay.
time fly by fast when we're having fun. Do you want to have? Do you want to? Do you have any last words for the audience before I let you go?
Yes. Here lies Laurenwood. Rest in peace. Those are my final words.
Okay. You're resting. You're sitting
That's
back
my
in
words.
peace.
Not now, God.
Not now. We still want you here. Lauren Wood, will you take care of yourself, love? Thank you so much for being on the Rico No Suave show. And I will see you later, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rika.
Put your hands together, everybody. Yeah, that's Lauren Wood. Everybody, we got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for actually being on the show as far as with us today. It's super happy about this one. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I think and I know that Lauren Wood is not going, she will not stop making music. So make sure you continue to support her at all times. Everybody, we got to put up our social media, everyone. It's our time for our social media because it's our website, everybody. It's our website at www.riconosuaveshow.com. Make sure you go ahead and check us out there, everyone. We have a lot of great information on there. Here's the next one. The next one is Instagram. Yeah, our Instagram, everybody. Make sure you go and follow us on Instagram, everybody. We love you guys when you follow us there. We always have content. Here's the next one. It is Facebook. Yes, if you're on Facebook, continue to like and love and also share our videos as well, too. We love you because you do that for us, and we love you always. Our next one is our big one, everyone. If you know people that love YouTube, make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, yes, we're continuously growing there, and we're always putting up shorts. You're going to see a short from Lauren Wood on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go and show her some love and show us some love there, too. Our next one is Mixcloud. Yeah. It turns into a podcast, everyone, so mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave show. Make sure you go ahead and show some love there. And then you can just create an account. It's all audio. after a while. Last but not least, we are on Red Coral Universe. Yes, everyone, Red Coral Universe. You can take a look at our past videos, but make sure you go to redcoraluniverse.com and then go ahead and check out all of our great information and our videos. Everybody, we got to get out of here, man. I had such a great time with each and every one of you guys here. And you know what? We're going to be back again. But until next time, everybody, as we end off the show, just like